Welcome to another episode of Witchfinder's Gaming Vault, and today I'm going to be looking at a Commodore 64 game called Destructo, or to give it its full title, The Island of Dr Destructo. Let's take a look at the fact file for this one, and Destructo was released in 1987 in the UK. It was published by Mastertronic in their Bulldog packaging, which was supposed to be the best of British software. The Commodore 64 version of the game was converted by Richard Applin with music from David Whittaker. The price I paid for the game not very long ago was £3.15, and the current going rate for the game is exactly that. You can pick up a copy from eBay for £3 to £5, including post and packaging. Here's the packaging for this one then, and as I said, this is the Bulldog packaging from Mastertronic. You've got the Bulldog software logo in the bottom right hand corner with a very British Bulldog there, and the front cover has got the word Destructo on. I don't know why they didn't give it the full title of The Island of Dr Destructo on the packaging, but there you go. And it's got basically some action there of a plane firing at some other planes and some explosions and things like that. Pretty simplistic. The spine has got that Destructo logo on again, and the back cover has got 4 screenshots of the game. As you can probably guess, it's a shoot 'em up of some description. The overview says just 7 days to prevent Dr. Destructo from carrying out his dastardly plans to take over the entire planet. As you read this very sentence, the minutes are ticking away and there's no time to lose. Joystick or keyboard, and the program by Eugene Messina. That was the original program, which was obviously either for the Spectrum or Amstrad because it was converted to the Commodore 64, as I mentioned, by Richard Applin. And as you can see at the bottom here, published by Mastertronic, the best of British, and it says the Bulldog software logo in the corner again as well. Here's a quick look at the cassette, and it's just got a black label stuck onto a grey cassette. It says Bulldog on it and the name of the game, Dr Destructo, it says there, so they're getting closer to the real name of the game. It's very similar to the cassettes provided on other Mastertronic titles at the time, just with Bulldog instead of either a Mastertronic or MAD logo. So let's move on to the actual instructions. There's a very convoluted overview of the game, which I can't be bothered to read really, but let's go on to the gameplay aspect, and it says your mission is to destroy the empire of Dr. Destructo and ultimately his island stronghold in just 7 days. The game consists of 21 screens which will phase through from day to night as the game progresses. The buildings and fleet of the Destructo Empire are destroyed from the impact of shot down air and spacecraft, or by bomb which is allocated to each player per screen. Each impact will remove a small section of the ship, island or building. When the missing sections amount to a gap through to the base, a leak is created and a water spout is formed. Most objects need 3 leaks in order to be successfully destroyed. It then gives you an overview of all the different enemies: green planes, jets, 2-seaters, blue 2-seaters, blue jets, sucker darts, helicopters, sky mines, yellow bombers, altitude bombs, and so on. There's lots of different enemies, basically, is what it's saying there. And more on the other side: shuttles, satellites, hyperjets, spacecrafts, and saucers. It gives you the scoring for the different types of enemies and the controls. So you've got joystick or keyboard, single play, joystick in port 1 or keyboard, and for 2 players, player 1 in joystick 1, port 1, and player 2 in joystick port 2, which means it supports 2 simultaneous players based on that. And the controls, then there's an overview of basically what the controls are, which is moving anti-clockwise and clockwise, accelerating, launching bombs, shooting, and then the controls for pausing, quitting, and so on. And of course the loading instructions, which are the classic hold down shift and press run stop. So that's it for the instructions and the packaging. Let's press shift and run stop and load the game in and see what it's like. Okay then, the game is loading up, and as you can see, it's got a loading screen, pretty simplistic one. It says The Island of Dr Destructo, the full title of the game, at the top there, and there's a single plane approaching an island, which I guess is supposed to be the player's attack plane attacking the island of Dr Destructo, although there's not a lot of attacking or action going on. It's a pretty simplistic picture, but it's nice to have a loading screen when the game's loading. I'll take this opportunity to mention why I never reviewed this when I did my Mastertronic Chronicles series. I decided not to review or collect any of the Bulldog games, mainly because most of them seemed like they looked a bit crap and I couldn't really be bothered with them. Also, it doesn't clearly state the Mastertronic logo on the front of the packaging. It does mention on the back that it's a Mastertronic brand, but that was my reasoning why I didn't collect or play any of these games. But this one looks like it might be okay, so well, we'll find out when it loads up, won't we? Right then, here we have the title screen for the game. Pretty simplistic, just all text. There's a scrolling message across the bottom, C64 Classic there. And as you can see at the top, it says Mastertronic presents the Island of Dr Destructo. Original program and graphics by Eugene Messina and David Lincoln Howells. They did the original version, whichever system it was for. And it says the C64 conversion was by the master programmer, but that's actually Richard Applin, who was a staff member for Mastertronic. Probably the most famous thing he did was the Invader load, which played when some of their games loaded. As you can see, not much else of interest on the title screen. Doesn't seem to be a high score table or anything like that. You just got the option for F1 for one player or F3 for team play. Obviously I'm going to be playing the one player game, so I will get on with that right now. One thing I have just had to have a playthrough before I started, because it turned out that the instructions were wrong. It's actually joystick in port 2 for a one player game, not port 1. So anyway, the idea is you're on a single screen, you can wrap around. I'm the grey plane, by the way. Luckily on this level nothing really kills you, so I can explain what you're supposed to do. So yeah, you're the grey plane. You've got to shoot down the enemies and make them crash into the big ship at the bottom. When they crash in, you can see holes are being made in various areas. So there is a little bit of strategy to try and shoot them in the same place so that they drop down into the ship. And eventually when enough holes have been made, it'll sprout a leak, and when enough leaks have been caused, it'll sink and you'll move on to the next level. You can see the sun moving across the sky. There is a time limit on this game. You've got 7 days. That's denoted in the middle of the screen between the two sets of player scores. You've got 7 days to destroy 21 things. So I'm getting there. Eventually another leak will form. So it's rotational controls for the ship. As I say, you can go off the other side of the screen. You can also press up on the joystick to accelerate. So there you go, that was the first ship sunk. Move on to the second level. Things now, oh yeah, you win. Whoever gets the most points, which in a one-player game will always be me, gets an extra life at the end of each level. Now this is where things get a little bit more tricky, because some of the ships, they look like they're the same, but when you shoot them they turn blue. And when they turn blue, you can crash into them and die. So this is where it starts to get a little bit more tricky. This ship's a lot smaller than the last one. Oh, there we go. That's what happens when you hit a blue ship. There goes another life. Luckily you get quite a lot of lives to start off with. So, oh no, there we go again. So these are sort of camouflaged ships. They're not the simple green ships that were the fodder in the first level. So I think the best approach is probably to just fly across the screen and try and just hit stuff that's in your path, rather than trying to maneuver around stuff. So I'm gradually... Oh, there goes another life. This is probably not going to last very long. So each level's got a name, which is basically the name of the ship, I think, which this one's called Lithium. First one was called something that I can't remember now. So the holes are gradually getting bigger. Oh, there goes another life. Actually, I don't think it's when you shoot that ship and it turns blue. I think it's just when you crash into it. If it's one of the blue ones, then you lose a life. Yeah, that's definitely what happens. I've nearly lost all my lives now. Not made a single hole in this ship yet either. Oh, and it's gone dark now, so you've got a sort of a day and night cycle. There's another... Oh, okay, there's 3 holes in the ship. I might have finally broken through enough now. No, maybe not. Oh yeah, okay, so there's a bit of a delay before the level ends. Not quite sure why that is. So I've got a couple of lives left. I'll win an extra life for completing that level. And it's the same again. It's another boat. This time, more of a supply ship than a destroyer, I suspect. There goes another life. There's some faster moving jets now as well. You can only fire a limited amount of shots. I mean, there's a lot going on the screen, to be fair. It's throwing a lot of sprites around. Is that game over? No, I'm still around. I've got another. Oh, it's quite hard to spot your ship amongst all the others. And there we go. That was the last of my lives. And we go back to the title screen. So yeah, no high score table. No high score table. Sorry, no high score recorded either. Let's have another go. Nice little effect with the bullet holes across the screen when you kick a game off as well. So yeah, as I mentioned, lots of sprites on the screen at once, and it's very smooth, so that's impressive. Obviously just a single screen, there's no scrolling to contend with. By the way, if you just dive down to the bottom of the screen, you just reappear at the top. You don't lose a life, but if you go to the top, you fall to the bottom, and then you rematerialize at the top. Again, you don't lose a life, but you can't really maneuver during that period. So anyway, yeah, I'll try and get a bit further than I did the first time. I've already made one hole in the ship. First level's called Banyo, is that? So the graphics are quite nice. The animation on the ships, the planes, is nice. The big ships at the bottom are just static graphics. There's no animation or anything going on there. I think you only have to get 2 holes in this first one. Yeah, there we go. So I did that a lot quicker than the first time. It's using the borders as well. So you've got blue going all the way over to the borders. So oh, there we go with another life lost. So that's quite clever as well. It's using the borders to represent the sea going right across the screen. So that's pretty cool. Oh, these blue planes are really annoying. I guess if you just time... No, something got me coming off the other side. This is the problem. Things just materialise on the side of the screen. You can't react to them. So yeah, graphics are simple but nice. As I say... Oh, here's another life. Plenty of nice animation. Oh, God's sake. Yeah, I don't think this game's going to gel very well with me. Sound effects in game are just basically the usual shots and explosions. There's a nice little jingle between stages. There goes another life. I forgot you've got a bomb as well, haven't you? Push down, you've got a bomb. Oh, that was well timed. That's gone straight through that hole there. Yeah, so once a level you can fire a bomb, which can blow a hole in the ship if you're lucky, or will just fall in the sea if you're not, I suppose. Oh, it's going to be game over, isn't it? No, still got 1 life left. But yeah, I've done even worse on my second go than the first one. Yeah, and there we go. That was awful. It's really hard to tell what's a dangerous plane and what's a not dangerous one, and that therefore makes it... Oh, hang on, I have got onto the next level somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. I thought that was game over, but apparently that's game over though. Apparently when I crashed into that ship, I must have just done enough to destroy the boat at the same time. Yeah, what I'm going to do is play again, but skip past the first level. Recording wise, because you've already seen that twice. See if I can get a little bit further into the game and show what happens later on, which is, I think, just more of the same, but let's see if we can find out. It's that time again where I say thank you to all my channel members, whose names you can see here in my Supporters Hall of Fame. If you're enjoying this video and would like to join these fine folks and support my efforts, why not become a member yourself? For a monthly fee starting from just 99p, you can get access to the special membership perks shown on screen, and more besides. If you're interested, then please click on the join button below this video for more information. If you're not able to commit to a monthly contribution but would still like to support my channel, then you could also give a super thanks. This one-off donation gives you a highlighted comment on whichever video you choose to click the button on, and anyone doing this will also get a shout out from me on a subsequent video. The super thanks button can be found below every video I produce. You can also help raise the profile of this channel by liking this video and leaving a comment, which helps improve my ranking in the mysterious YouTube algorithm. Any support you can give, financial or otherwise, is greatly appreciated. So you join me on level 2 again, and I've already lost a couple of lives to the bloody blue planes, but I seem to be doing a little bit better. I've already made 2 holes in the boat. I think... Oh, that was annoying because that was just below me and clipped me, but... I think the best strategy is just to basically just to fly left to right, loop around and try and shoot stuff as you go through it. You can still get hit by stuff that way, but it doesn't seem to be as bad. There we go, I've completed that level already. I've got 5 lives left, so that's an improvement on the previous goes. Nice that you get an extra life at the end of each stage. That's nice. So yeah, just kind of gently sort of gliding across the screen and trying to shoot the things that come at you, and while they're over the boat, just seems to be working reasonably well. I'm sure I'll still get clipped by a few of those blue ones at some point, but it seems to be working okay. So yeah, I think I talked about everything. There's music on the title screen which is you know, not one of David Whittaker's best from the many that I've heard when I was playing the Mastertronic games throughout the Mastertronic Chronicles. He's definitely got done better, but it's okay. The game is just generally okay, I think it's fair to say. It's nothing special, but it is an interesting idea. Certainly not anything like anything I've played before, with the idea that you've got to survive these 21 stages and use the explosions from the things you shoot to blow up the thing at the bottom of the screen is quite a cool idea. There's not a lot of variety to it, it's just the same thing over and over again basically, and try not to get hit by annoying blue planes disguising themselves as green ones. But overall, yeah, it's alright. I mean, I'm definitely got into it a bit more now and understand the mechanics. There's obviously a strategy to the way you have to move around and try and hit things in the middle of the boat so that they crash through it. Just need one more, I think. Just struggling to hit it in the right place. A strategy sounds like a good idea, but I think it is mainly just random. There we go, there's 3 holes in the boat. Is that going to be enough? Yes, okay, I've got to level, what's this, 4 now? That's the furthest I've got. So another extra life. I think I only lost 1 life on that level. Now you can see the blue planes. That might help. I assume at some point things are going to start firing at you as well. Yeah, there's no point hitting stuff at the edges of the screen because you're not doing any damage. Let's drop the bomb down there. That's done a bit of damage. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, definitely don't crash into a blue plane. Oh, he says as he crashes into another blue plane and another one. That's a bit unfair when they're right above you. And another one. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting silly now. But yeah, I'm not going to get much further than this level, and I don't really think... Yeah, that's game over. Probably not much point playing it again. I think you get the idea. I think that's one you have to play a long time and really understand the strategy of how to play it. Putting my Mastertronic Chronicles head back on, which has not been on for God knows how many years now, probably close to 10. Would I have paid $1.99 for it? Probably. Would it have been worth it? Yeah, probably just about. I mean, I think it's probably more fun as a 2-player game. I imagine when you're competing against each other to win that extra life at the end of each stage, that makes it a little bit more fun. And I think it's one, the more you play it, the more you'll get the strategy of how you need to fly around and maneuver and things like that. I've just been doing it pretty simply, going from left to right and just shooting stuff in front of me, but once you get to grips with the controls, it probably gets a little bit easier. Well, I think that'll do for this video. There's not really much more to say about it. I will keep it because it only costs a couple of quid and I ain't going to make any money if I sell it, so I may as well keep it for the time being. It isn't going into any top 10 budget games list or anything like that, but it was an interesting game to play and try out one of the Bulldog games at least these many years after completing my Mastertronic collection. Will I go out and get all the other Bulldog games now? Probably not, no. So that'll do for this video. If you enjoyed it, then let me know in the comments. If you thought the game was rubbish, then also let me know in the comments, and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching this one, and that just means that now I need to decide, or use the Wheel of Names to decide, what game to play next in this series. So the Wheel of Names is spinning, and the next game is going to be Nobby the Aardvark. Another Commodore 64 game. That one's on disc, and I haven't plugged my disc drive into my C64 for a good number of years either, so we'll see if that works. If not, I'll just have to load it off the SD card. So that'll do it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next time, see ya!